Hey everybody, how's it going? Aaron Rift here, along with good old JM, Jeff Meacham. How you doing today, Jeff?
That beard, Rift, I'm telling you.
That beard. Well, we'll get to the beard when we do our WrestleMania predictions. Okay. Right now, it's about something that does not give us a major headache, and that's right. NXT.
Woo!
We got WrestleMania week, and of course, the Hall of Fame on Saturday night. We'll talk about the Hall of Fame a little bit as well, but this video is mainly about our predictions for NXT Takeover Dallas.
It's so funny. The one night of the wrestling year I look forward to the most, I won't be home.
Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be at the Pantages Theater at the Star Trek concert.
Wow.
The big dork that I am for Star Trek, I got for Christmas for my mom 2 tickets to the Star Trek concert at the Pantages. So I'm going to be watching TakeOver on tape delay, if you will.
Wow.
On demand, as they say now. So yeah, I'll be missing NXT live, but that's okay.
Well, sucks for you because you're such a big NXT
enthusiast. I'm going to wear this shirt and my Star Trek badge at the Pantages. That's how much
There you go. You're going to be repping NXT.
That's right, damn it. I should have worn that on the show today. That's okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this more than I am WrestleMania.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, I am, because WrestleMania for me has fallen so short. We'll get to WrestleMania in the next show, but this show, every single match on this card, with the exception of one, and we'll get to that in a minute, has me drawn in. Has me wanting to see every single bit of it.
Yeah, I did the poll on NoDQ.com asking people which they prefer.
I voted.
Yeah. Overwhelmingly NXT. I think it was like 90% for NXT, 10% for WrestleMania. I was shocked at how
And I wonder how much Triple H sits back in his office in Stanford and goes, yep.
Well, I'm sure he's happy.
I'm sure he's tickled.
I'm not sure how Vince feels about it.
Well, that's just too bad for Vince, because his product is stale, and Triple H's is not.
All right, so we got 6 matches for this card, which I believe will be a 2-hour show. That seems to make sense.
Generally speaking, it is 2 hours.
Could always go over because it is the WWE Network, and they can go over.
They can do what they want, exactly.
Right, so first up we have Baron Corbin versus Austin Aries, one of the newest NXT signings.
Yes, this is going to be something. Austin Aries came in with a lot of fanfare, as we know, from TNA and Ring of Honor. He's the greatest man that ever lived, and he was walking down the aisle on the NXT debut, and Corbin just blindsided him from behind. Completely just bushwhacked him, if you will. And it pissed Aries off. Not to the point where he's angry Austin Aries that we saw on TNA, but he's like, all right, motherfucker, all right, we'll see. So it's been a very brief build, but it's going to be something special, and I can't honestly believe they're going to have Austin Aries, the greatest man that ever lived, losing his debut.
Right.
So I see him going over Corbin.
I do too.
I feel bad for Corbin. He keeps jobbing everybody, but everybody else over.
Wasn't he the guy that took the fall for Samoa Joe in Joe's first big match?
Yes. And he also was the only one that tapped out in the 3-way between him, Zayn, and Joe for the number 1 contender spot, which led to all that drama later.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's the one that tapped out to both the finishing holds. He's been jobbing consistently, and Corbin's too good to be jobbing. Right. He's one of the guys I forgot to mention him on Talk Wrestling, but he's one of the guys should be called up.
He's got a lot of fans, and a lot of people are frustrated that he seems to be just putting people over rather than getting his chance to shine.
He's a very underrated big man.
Well, once he gets to the main roster, that might help him.
Hopefully. Although with main rosters, yeah.
But when Vince takes a look at him, maybe he'll save this guy's money. Who knows?
Let's hope.
So we're both going with Austin Aries for the first match. Next up, we have the tag team match for the NXT Championship. The Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder against American Alpha, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable.
Yeah, this is going to seal the show. You've got a solid card here. All 6 matches are going to be really good, but this tag team match is probably what I'm looking forward to the most. Honestly, you've got the Revival, who is a throwback to Gene and Ole,
that's what a lot of people are saying,
or a throwback to the old tag team days. And you've got American Alpha, who is Team Angle version 2, essentially.
Exactly.
You've got Haas and Benjamin reincarnated. These 4 guys have made NXT Tag Team Wrestling the place to be, more so than TNA ever did. Even with the Wolves, I love Davey and Eddie. But these 4 guys have really set the standard now. And they are going to go to Dallas on Friday and just tear shit up.
You know what would be really incredible? If Kurt Angle showed up in the corner of American Alpha.
I think if Angle shows up, you should shave the beard then.
I will. If Kurt Angle shows up
all right, you heard it here.
Shave off the beard. Imagine that reaction if Angle came out to be their manager.
And then have...
The place would just come completely unglued. It would be like Mankind winning the WWF title.
It would
kind
be.
of pop.
It would be total Road Warrior pop.
Just have him come out and be their manager.
Just say nothing. Just walk out with them. Don't even say a word, Kurt.
The
That'd be
crowd
awesome.
would just lose their
Lose their shit. I'll say it. Whatever.
hey PG
whatever.
video. We have children watching.
Hey, you know what? I saw that.
You need to be more like Roman Reigns.
I saw
you need to
that
think
in the
of the
chat
children.
room for the scoop. You tell him to watch his language. You know what? This is NoDQ.com.
What-
The hell with language.
You know, a 9-year-old called in to know a show.
Did he really?
Yeah.
What?
She actually.
Why?
So we have children watching these videos. You need to take some responsibility and watch your mouth.
Oh my
You
goodness.
need to watch your friggin' mouth.
I apologize for all the goddamn swearing. I'm sorry. I'm such an asshole. I'm sorry. My fault. Okay, no.
I think
Regardless of Angle's appearance or not, I think that American Alpha's going to win.
yeah,
the titles.
I agree with you. I agree with you that they should win the titles here, and the icing on the cake would be Kurt Angle.
It would be, yes.
Not getting my hopes up, but never say never.
That's right.
Next up, we have Apollo Crews versus Elias Sampson.
The Drifter, Samson, yeah. I could not care less about this match,
Yeah,
honestly.
I think this is definitely the weakest
This
match.
is the
on the
weakest
card.
because there's been no real substantial build toward it. All we've seen, the last time we saw the Drifter, Samson, was he lost his first match in NXT, and he went over the deep end. He completely nailed whoever. I think it was Johnny Gargano. I think it was Johnny Wrestling. It may have been Ciampa. I forget. Anyway, one of those two. And he just went nuts. And we're putting him against a guy who's undefeated, pretty
Right.
much. Except I think he's lost once, maybe. Cruz is pretty awesome. He reminds me of a Bobby Lashley. He reminds me of that style of wrestler. But I think that NXT, Triple H or whoever is really starting to get behind Elias Sampson, the Drifter. I think they're going to put him over Cruz.
Really?
I do. I think that. I believe that.
I think Cruz is going to win. I think Cruz is going to continue being built up as one of the future stars that will eventually get on the main roster.
Now I think they're going to give Sampson a quick one. They're going to not a quick, but just like he's going to sneak in a victory really quickly on him and won't even expect it. So
Well, we'll see what happens with that.
Yep.
All right, so now we get to the match that I think most people are anticipating the most. Sami Zayn one-on-one with the debuting New Japan Pro Wrestling star Nakamura.
Shinsuke Nakamura, yes. Originally, I had typed out that Zayn was going to win this match. But the fact that Sammy's already on the main roster now, he's in the title match on Sunday
Right.
for the Intercontinental Championship, the ladder match, he doesn't really need
No, he doesn't.
this victory. Nakamura does.
Yeah, it's his first match.
Nakamura, for all of his build and all of his fanfare from coming from Japan, and don't get me wrong, it's well deserved, okay? But if he loses his first encounter, much like Austin Aries in the earlier match, if he loses his first outing, instant thumb down. That's it. It's over right there.
Right.
So he's gonna win.
Yeah, there's no way this isn't going to be perhaps the match of the year. I mean, this is almost certainly going to be a match of the year candidate.
I think any of these matches, with the exception of Samson and Cruz, has a match of the year potential to it.
But you know these two guys are going to tear it up.
Oh yeah, well,
it's going to be
it's funny.
unbelievable.
I got a text last night during Raw from an old staggering friend of ours,
Oh yeah.
and is Sami Zayn Generico? I'm like, yep, same guy. He goes, holy shit, good for him and Kevin. I'm like, I know. We have loved Sammy from the beginning. We always did. He was one of our favorites at Gorilla, and he's been a tremendous talent in NXT. I say tremendous a lot on my shows, but he's been awesome for NXT, and he's been awesome on the main roster so far. I think that giving Nakamura the rub, if you will, in NXT will really elevate both of them.
Have they ever faced before in the Indies?
Nakamura?
Nakamura and Sami Zayn.
I don't think so.
As El Generico.
I think Nakamura was pretty Japan and Ring of Honor exclusive, and I think by the time he got to Ring of Honor,
Sammy was ready
in
in
WWE.
Yeah.
I think.
But yeah, that's going to be awesome. So we're both going with Nakamura on
Yes.
that. And then for the women's championship, Bayley versus Asuka.
Asuka, yes.
Bayley's been champion since the Brooklyn show, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes, since Brooklyn.
I'm thinking it's time for a title change.
I am as well.
I think Bayley's getting close to being ready to be called up to the main roster.
Yeah, I was talking about this on Talk Wrestling when I was taping a few minutes ago, and I think that a loss the right way to Asuka will only elevate both of them.
Right.
And I think Bayley really got screwed over by being hurt.
Yeah.
Because had she not been hurt when the call-up happened over the last summer, she'd have been up with the other three. So I think that Bayley will lose clean in a great, unbelievable match, like she's had her entire reign, and then she'll get called up.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking as well. And I see Asuka kind of like Samoa Joe, both of them in the same kind of position where I think WWE wants to use them in NXT to help work with the younger talent, and I'm not sure either of them are in WWE's long-term plans to be on the main roster, at least in a high-profile role. That's just my gut feeling on it. But we'll see with Samoa Joe.
Asuka gets the Joe chant. Asuka's gonna kill you. And she is lethal. She has been her entire career. Yeah. And she's been dominant in NXT so far. So I can't see her losing now.
Yeah. So, I definitely see her winning the title here. I mean, if either of them are getting called up, it's going to be Bayley, definitely.
Yep.
And then we have the main event. Finn Balor, the champion, defending against, we just mentioned him, Samoa Joe.
Question on Talk Wrestling caught me off guard, asking about the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Debuting. And I was incensed. I went, wait a minute. What if they debut on Friday and help Balor retain?
That's interesting.
It's interesting, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think that it's Joe's time. I think it's Balor's time to get called up.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that Joe is finally going to cement his place as a WWE branded champion.
Yeah, that's what I think is more likely. I mean, I've heard rumors about Joe possibly going up. I think whoever loses the match will be the one that gets called up, but I'm thinking it's going to be Finn that loses, and he'll be the one that gets called up to the main roster.
Well, but then again, Kevin Steen was called up as champion.
Yeah.
So it really could be either one of them getting called up with or without the title.
Yeah, but I don't see Joe winning the title and then being called up right away. You know, that would
well,
be
not
something.
right away. No. It'll be a very interesting scenario. I honestly think that Joe is going to win a very competitive, very awesome match.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we will see Carl Anderson or...
I love to see Carl and Doc. That'd be great. I miss Carl. We see Carl all the time at Hollywood Wrestling all the time.
He's been training in the Performance
We
Center.
saw his picture
with
Matt Bloom, yes, with A-Train. So. But it'll be cool to see him.
Yep. So that'll wrap it up for our predictions. And regarding the Hall of Fame, what are your thoughts on this year's Hall of Fame class overall? Compared to previous years.
Well, the thing is, you and I have been to a few now. I've been to 2, and I think that this year's does not measure up at all. You have Sting, who is an unbelievable headliner.
Definitely.
The Freebirds, who have deserved it for a long time. Regardless of Michael P.S. Hayes' controversies or whatever, he's deserved it for a long time. You've got the Big Boss Man, the Godfather. Boss Man and Godfather were great...
great
mid-card talents, and they both won championships at the mid-card level. But people are saying, well, they deserve the Hall of Fame. Okay, if Coco Beware can get the Hall of Fame,
anybody can.
Okay?
Yeah. I mean, I think Boss Man is more worthy than Godfather.
Definitely.
Because Boss Man had matches with
tenure,
Hogan. He had matches with Austin. Godfather was more of an opening match act.
People forget how much of a badass Boss Man was when he was with Slick and Akeem.
Yeah.
He was a legit mean dude.
Yeah, he was.
He was bad in bone.
Yeah.
And then people are bitching to me, oh, well, Snoop Dogg's only getting in because Sasha just goes, no, he's been at 3 WrestleManias now.
He gave us Bunny Mania.
He gave us Bunny Mania, as JBL said.
That's Hall of Fame material right there.
Hey, you know what? I was at that WrestleMania, and you know what? Seeing Snoop Dogg clothesline Santino Morel was worth the price of admission. I'll tell you what.
All right.
So, who else?
I'm not sure who else.
I'm not sure who else either. Who else?
I think we're missing somebody. And
Joan London for the Warrior Award. That I kind of get. Again, people are going to bitch about the Warrior Award. Well, that's not Warrior meant. You know what? The WWE is going to do what they want to do with their own video footage. And the Warrior said this, and the Warrior said this, so they're going to use it for this.
Yeah, it's
just the way it is.
I'd rather they do what Warrior wanted to do, because I wanted to see like referees get inducted and people like Jim Johnston get inducted for the music.
I agree.
You know, it's a shame that these people aren't getting the recognition.
Well, they might one day.
Yeah, I mean, WWE hasn't really done that with inducting referees or production people.
TNA did.
Cameramen. I mean, there's so many guys that put all this work into making WWE what it is.
There's one camera guy, Tom, whatever his name is, that Austin used to mess with for years and years.
Yeah.
And he hasn't got any recognition since then.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I know. Not a strong class. I'm glad I'm not going to Dallas for that part.
I still think the one with Ted DiBiase Sr. was probably the weakest one overall.
Agreed.
This one wasn't quite as weak as that one.
No.
And then we got, of course, the rest of WrestleMania weekend, Access, and all the events with Ring of Honor, WrestleCon. It's going to be a crazy week for the fans in Dallas.
Everybody that has money that is promoting a wrestling show is going to be in Dallas this weekend.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to seeing what happens at Ring of Honor. That super card of honor is going to be something special.
Yeah. So stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the latest coverage regarding WrestleMania week, and hopefully we'll have some coverage from the other events as well. And
hopefully.
Stay tuned to the YouTube channel for our WrestleMania 32 predictions. We will see you guys then.